So I just want to make sure everyone's on the same page on how to complete your focused review for practice A and B. So I have all of your steps, a folder with the ATI templates. But like I said, if you want to use your own, I'm completely fine with it, especially with this systems disorder. I know you have a disease process sheet in Med-Surg. If you would prefer to use that, I'm down. As long as it correlates the same information, I'm happy. Combine related topics. Just make sure that you clearly list the topics and include all of the information, okay? And make sure it's easy for me to tell that you did multiple topics. Okay? So that's that. Okay. So we talked about the 2 proctors that are done in class. Remember, they are not leveled. However, I do have a practice A and B due for them. So practice mental health practice A and B, management practice A and B. Come on, completely fine. Remember I said you do not have to do a focus review on it. You can, and you probably should. However, since it's not leveled, I don't make you. I just need you to show me that you did practice A and B, and it was this semester. So it should be dated sometime this semester. Okay. Okay. And then when we talk about your predictor, that is 180 questions, 4 hours, and it is graded leveled. So we talked about those scores in class, and if you want to go look back at it, that PowerPoint is under week 1. I think it starts like the absolute end. Oh, come on. So that's in there for you, but I also pulled it up here. So a score of 71.9 or below is going to be considered a 0. 72.4 to 73.4 is an 80, and 73.5 and higher is 100. And then just like with your other retakes, you do get a retake. And that's how those grades correlate, matching up to up there. Okay. All right. So I just want to go back and quickly remind you guys how capstones are graded. Okay. So capstones have grades of 2 kind of ways, as we talked about. The actual score you get on your capstone, the assessment 1, is going to go towards your capstone average. So is your proctor scores and your predictor score and your pre and post assessment. Okay. So that is all of these out of the capstones that are going to get it, and they're scored your score out of 100. So if you get a 62.3, I give you a 62.3. Okay. Your homework grades, we talked about this. The majority of the modules are going to be worth 30 points. So it's going to be whatever you get out of 30. Typically, you get all 10 points just for doing the pre-work on time, regardless of score. Just for doing the assessment on time, regardless of score, you get 10 points. And then however your coach grades your post work, that's going to be out of 10. So you did everything on time, so you mandatory got 20 points there, and let's say your coach took off 0.5 for something. So you would get 29.5 out of 30 in your homework group. Okay? So then your modules are the ones with 40 points are your pharmacology and med-surg. So assessment 2 itself is graded as your score out of 100, but it is a homework grade. So med-surg 2 and pharm 2 are homework grades out of 100. So if you get a 68, it would be a 68 kind of thing. Same concept here, just doing those 3 assessments on time get you 30 points, and then this last 10 is your post work, however they grade it, okay? So how is your grade broken down? We talked about you do not need a capstone average to pass. You need a 70 overall. How does that overall calculated? Capstones are 70%. Homework and class activities are 10. Your A and B assessments are 5%. Each of your papers are 5%, and your presentation is 5%. Okay? So some of the biggest things, I always look at your capstone average. I try to have y'all stay within around 65 or higher, just to be safe. But it does not mean that you're going to fail if you don't. So just keep an eye on your overall grade, and if you have any concerns, you know you can reach out to me. Okay. All right. The last place I'm going to take you under your tools and resources for success is study tools. I'm going to open that up. And then for each of the subcategories, I have a ton of things to help you. I have little notes sheets. I have PowerPoints, I have work activities, I have dynamic quiz filter words, all kinds of stuff you can do here. And that is for every subsection. So if you are in pharmacology, or if you are preparing for your pharmacology proctor, you have pharmacology resources. If you are struggling in med-surg, or you are preparing for your med-surg proctor, bingo, I got you some help right on in here. Whole thing. Same thing with mother baby, and we talked about it. I have a ton of tools in here for management and leadership, just to make sure you know what's going on when it comes to that management proctor. And that is all of your capstone stuff in a nutshell. I'm going to record another video discussing your outcome table, your community and careers, and your thinking abilities papers separated, and how to find help for those.